A big day for the Jacksonville Jaguars as they extend defensive end Josh Allen to a big-time deal, 5 years, nearly $150 million. Love this deal. Think it's a win-win, a win for Josh Allen, a win for the Jacksonville Jaguars, securing their edge rusher, their best defensive player, and it teaches the entire team, hey, if you have great play, you're going to be rewarded with great pay. And so now all eyes are on the NFL draft. We are just over 2 weeks away from that. And in this video, we're going to look at potential trade back options for the Jaguars. We dropped a video a couple weeks ago on looking at what would it look like for the Jaguars to trade up and go get Trevor Lawrence, a true wide receiver number 1 in Rome Odunze. We'll drop the link to that video in the comments, but let's just say that trade scenario doesn't work out. Maybe the top 3 receivers fly off the board. Maybe top 10 teams are just not interested in trading back, and so the Jaguars are on the clock at pick 17, and they want to potentially trade back and get some more draft capital. So in this video, we're going to look at 3 big things. Number 1, who are potential trade partners for the Jaguars to trade back, who would be interested in trading up to pick 17 in the first round. Number 2, we'll look at a potential trade partner and package, a trade proposal that I think is the best fit for the Jaguars and for this other team. And then third, we're going to break down why both teams would do this. Why would this be a win for the Jaguars and for their trade partner in this scenario? So first, who are potential trade partners for the Jaguars that be interested in trading up? I think realistically the first one you would see would be the Philadelphia Eagles at pick number 22. There's a lot of speculation that the Eagles will want to go cornerback early in this draft class, and potentially they're going to love one of these top guys, whether it's Terrion Arnold or Quinyon Mitchell. Maybe one of them is available at pick 17, and the Eagles will want to jump over a few other teams to make sure that they get their CB1 in this draft class. They also have 2 second-round picks, so there could be a lot of interesting movement there for the Jaguars and the Eagles. You'd also have the Cardinals at pick number 27, who would be a very interesting trade partner as well. They have 2 first-round picks, number 4 overall and number 27, and they could potentially want to trade up with that 27th pick to try and get one of the top 3 edge rushers, as this seems to be a draft class that is top 3 heavy with a big drop-off before edge number 4 and 5, so maybe they want to go do that. And then the last 2 teams are going to be wide receiver hungry teams. The very end of the draft, you'll have the Buffalo Bills at pick number 28 and the Kansas City Chiefs at pick number 32. Please, oh please, Jaguars, don't let us get screwed over by a bad deal with the Chiefs. They already have plenty of talent. We don't need to give any more weapons to Patrick Mahomes. So if that is the option, let's just be really, really careful in a deal that we might do with the Chiefs. But the proposal that I love the most and the trade partner that I love the most for the Jaguars, and I think is the best option, is the Arizona Cardinals at pick 27. I think the Cardinals have a ton of flexibility in this draft. They have 3 draft picks in the top 35. And so the trade proposal that I love for these 2 teams is that the Jaguars would offer their first overall pick, number 17, and their second round at pick 48 for the Cardinals' first round at number 27, and the Cardinals' second round at pick number 35, and the Cardinals' fifth round at number 162. Essentially, this allows the Cardinals to jump up 10 spots in the first round, and the Jaguars to jump up 13 spots in the second round. If you look at some draft value calculations, we'll drop these in the comments as well. Looks to be a pretty fair trade. So the Jimmy Johnson value chart says that the Cardinals would slightly win this trade, while the Fitzgerald Spielberger draft value chart would say that the Jaguars would slightly win this deal. But overall, here's why I would love this deal for both teams, and I think it could be an incredible option for both teams. So number 1, for the Arizona Cardinals, as I said earlier, I think they are going to certainly go wide receiver in that first selection, get Kyler Murray another weapon, whether that's Marvin Harrison Jr. at pick number 4 or perhaps Malik Neighbors, depending on what the Patriots do at pick number 3. But the second biggest need, most people would say, for the Arizona Cardinals is edge rusher. And I think if they wait all the way till pick 27, there's a really good chance that all three of the top edge rushers are gone, and a lot of these edge rushers past them, most people don't have until a mid or late second round grade, not as much of an impact as these top three guys. So who are these top three guys? You have Dallas Turner out of Alabama, you have Jared Verse out of Florida State, and you have Luatu Latu out of UCLA. And each of these guys has the potential to come in, be a day one starter, and the potential to grow and become an NFL star edge rusher. So if you look at this draft class, I mean, this could be a big win for the Cardinals. They go get their star wide receiver first, and then they could also get a star edge rusher and still have another top 50 selection with the Jaguars' second round pick at number 48 overall. So I think this could be a great win for the Cardinals. If there's any Cardinals fans watching this video right now, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Would you do this deal? Would you be really happy if y'all take one of the top receivers, Marvin Harrison Jr. or Malik Nabers, number 4 overall, and then still have the option at picking perhaps the second best or the third best edge rusher in this class, a guy that some people will have a top 10 grade on? Would y'all like this deal and still have a mid-second round pick? Here's why I think the Jaguars could do this deal. It would give them a ton of flexibility. So if the Jaguars, Trent Baalke, if he pulls it off, I think the first thing they ought to do is pick up the phone and call the San Francisco 49ers and see if the 49ers would be willing to trade Brandon Ayuk, because there's still speculation that they might do a draft night deal. Would they be interested in pick number 27 for Brandon Ayuk? A lot of the negotiations seem to have fallen down because the Jaguars wanted to send pick 48 in the middle of the second round for Ayuk, and the 49ers really wanted pick 17 in the first round from the Jaguars. And in this scenario, you split the difference. You give them pick number 27. You give Trevor Lawrence a wide receiver 1. You lock Brandon Ayuk to a long-term deal. And then you're able to go get a high-level top 5 cornerback at that high second round pick at number 35. If that doesn't work, if the 49ers don't answer the phone, if they're not interested, you still have a ton of flexibility. I think you look at what are some of the big name wide receivers or cornerbacks that fall a little bit to pick 27. The guy that I would circle really big here, if he made it this far, would be cornerback Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. After his 4.4 pro day, that was really the only major concern. This is a cornerback that has no weaknesses. He's a good tackler, has good size. Some people were concerned about his overall speed, and he really quieted all those concerns by going and running a 4.4. And so to me, Kool-Aid McKinstry is the highest floor. Lowest floor would be really bad. The highest floor of any cornerback in this draft class. He's only 21 years old, and I think he's a plug-and-play guy that could be a cornerback starter for the Jaguars on the outside or inside day one as a rookie, and just continue to get better. And then at pick 35, I think you go best available player. If there's a wide receiver you love, of course, that is a no-brainer there at number 35. And potentially there's scenarios where A.D. Mitchell or Brian Thomas Jr. falls to number 27, and I like that value a lot more than I like taking either one of them at pick 17. But I think you can go best available player at pick 35 and go get a guy that you have a mid-first round grade that for some reason has just slid off the board, whatever position, whether that's offensive line, whether that's an edge rusher, whether that's interior defensive line, wide receiver. You can go get that guy at pick number 35 and essentially get 2 guys that you have first round grades on. And you get 1 additional pick in the 5th round, which we all know that the Jaguars have depth concerns, and so you can go get a nice depth player, because just like last year, you never know what you might find in the 5th round. Antonio Johnson, who looks to be a potential starter for the Jaguars defense in year 2, or Parker Washington, who is a 6th round pick and definitely had an impact on offense and in special teams. So that's why I love this deal for both teams. But what do you think? If you're a Jaguars fan, would you do this deal? Again, my preference is to trade up, go get a guy like Rome Odunze. Go check out that video if you haven't already. But if that fails to work, this could be a scenario that I really like for the Jaguars. Would you do this deal if you're a Cardinals fan? Would you do this? Do you think this is a win-win for both teams? Would you tweak it or change it at all? But if you love Jacksonville Jaguars, if you love Jaguars content, NFL draft content, make sure you hit subscribe and make sure you check out my other two brothers, JT and Joey. We record a podcast together. We just dropped our NFL draft preview for the Jacksonville Jaguars in the entire draft, so you can find it right here on our YouTube channel under Make or Break Draft under videos. We'll drop that link, one more thing for you in the comments, but we hope you'll check that out as well.